Good morning. Today we're going to talk about chapter 6 of You Are a Badass. So in chapter 5, the author is talking about self-perception, but in chapter 6, she's talking about self-love, right? So it's two different things. You need to change your self-perception before you work on your self-love. So I just want to do the little recap. Now we're going to jump into chapter 6. She starts it by talking about how we are born into the world, this little bundle of joy, right? And we worked a whole life after that to prove ourselves that we're not good enough. It's like our self-love literally flies right out of the window as soon as we start to like take in and actually be okay with the outside information that we are receiving, right? So I do have my notes open because she gives 9 practical steps that you can take towards learning to love yourself again. I didn't want to mess those up. So the first one, she starts with appreciating how special you are. So even though people might have like talents, gifts and stuff that might be very similar to yours, they will never express them the same way that you do. That's why it's still important for you to express your gifts, to share that with the world. We talked about that being your whole mission, right? Being as you can be. That way you're not like keeping the world from all the brilliance you have, from all the gifts that you have, right? And being able to live your life to your full potential. So even though the gifts might be similar, they're not going to be expressed the same way. So the world will still be missing out on your gifts if you decide to not share them because Susie might be a great singer as well, or whatever your gift is. So number 2 is to drown yourself in affirmations. So I love affirmations. I know that for a lot of people, they might be cringy. So she does talking about figuring out a way that's not cringy for you, a way that you feel comfortable doing. I personally like to do them in the mirror, like I'm talking to myself. You can do them mentally. I do think speaking out loud is a little bit different, but if you don't want to do them in the mirror, do them however you want to. But it's important for you to figure out exactly what affirmations you need the most. Like what is the stuff that you like the meanest to yourself about? So figure out what are those things that are always bringing you down and start doing affirmations that counteract that thought that you usually have. Number 3 is do things that you love. Stop constantly denying yourself to do hobbies, do activities and things that you love, because that just sends like a lousy message back to your brain, right? That you're always in denial, always denying yourself things that you enjoy to do. And I thought was pretty cool because I'm a workaholic with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to find balance, but she says it's the people who make enjoying their lives that priority that actually enjoy their lives, which of course makes a lot of sense. But a lot of us get so focused on just making progress on our lives in other areas that we forget to like enjoy the process of becoming the person who is deserving of those goals, the person who is deserving of the income of those trips or whatever your goals are. And she ends that part saying, you are not a selfish person for taking care of yourself. You're just a happier one. So I have some like dumb moments with this book, but it's so simple. It's just stuff that we got to put into practice. That's why I wanted to like actually read the steps, because I like action steps, right? I don't want to just read for no reason. I want to change my life, right? I want to change my mindset and be able to think a little bit differently. So number 4 is to find a replacement. So the replacement that she's talking about, it's almost like if you've done personal development with other people like Tony Robbins, they explain it about rewiring your brain, right? So our brain is wired in a certain way where certain things happen to us and we constantly have the same response to those things. It's for example, people that don't appreciate the way they look, every time that they look in the mirror they have negative thoughts. Or people that have a hard time making a mistake, every time that they feel something they have all this like negative conversation where they're super rude to themselves. So it's rewiring your brain for when those things happen, you think a little bit differently and you learn to be more forgiving and you learn to be more kind to yourself. Similar to the things that she's talking about in the previous chapters, like seeing yourself through somebody who loves you, right? Like seeing yourself through the lenses of somebody who loves you. Talk to yourself how you would to your best friend whenever she's feeling down about her body or her looks. If she's looking at the mirror, talk to yourself how you would talk to your best friend whenever she feels as something. How would you bring that person up? Talk to yourself that way versus being your own freaking worst enemy. Number 5, which I have a hard time with that, is to ditch the self-deprecating humor. So a lot of us end up making like very it's like almost like dark humor, right? Like we have like this ease in it's okay to laugh laugh about like things that you do, right? And have like a humor behind making mistakes and failing. But it's very, very bad for you to continue to have jokes about how bad you are, how you're always a failure, how none of your relationships work out, different jokes like that, because the things that you keep repeating constantly every single day, they are going to become your beliefs, and your beliefs will then become who you truly are, right? And we already like have all those things that we develop as kids that we didn't have any control over. Like, let's not develop our own freaking negative beliefs by making those constantly jokes about how we're failures or different things like that. So she says to ditch that type of humor. Number 6, let the love in. I freaking suck at this. And she's talking about learning to accept compliments. Like, a lot of us we don't know how to do that, and we're constantly like, no, like we don't know how to accept it. We don't know how to just say thank you. We wanna be in denial all times, and we think that means being humble. Like, learn to just take the freaking compliment and say thank you, right? Instead of deny it. Number 7 is do not compare yourself to others. I got a text order. Okay, let me focus. Number 7 is do not compare yourself to others, because it's precisely your uniqueness that makes you awesome. So thinking that somebody else's uniqueness is gonna be better than yours, it's not really like being your best friend about things. So don't compare yourself to others, just appreciate who you are. And compare yourself to who you were yesterday, right? You should be your only competition. You should be striving to make progress based on who you were yesterday. Number 8 is forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, and we're going to continue to make mistakes forever. Feeling guilty about something that you did is not going to make you a better person. It just makes you a sadder one. So that really hit deep for me, because I'm one of those people that I feel like I gotta I constantly I am like rethinking things that I did wrong, the things that I said that possibly would have hurt somebody. And if you did that, learn to like apologize, but forgive yourself even more if you didn't do it with the purpose of hurting somebody's feelings, or with the purpose of making that mistake or failing, you know. So learn to forgive yourself. And number 9 is love yourself, because that's the holy grail of happiness. It's impossible to be happy if you don't love yourself, and it's actually impossible to love anybody else if you don't truly love yourself. So that's chapter 6. Tune in tomorrow for chapter 7. And we are doing, if you're on Instagram, you should be able to see this as series, and you should be able to go back to all the previous chapters. On YouTube, it's gonna be saved all under the same playlist as well, so you should be able to find the other ones. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope you're able to put into action all those 9 steps that we just talked about. I'll talk to you guys soon.